Chiropractic really is treating the health and function of the nervous system, because the nervous system is the master controller system of your entire body, controls all the other systems of the body, controls all the functions, all the organ functions, controls every single cell of your body. So in order to be healthy, it's critical to have the health of the nervous system in place. And where that goes awry is when there's misalignments of the spine that put pressure on the delicate nerves of the spine.
So I had this disc problem in my lower back. I think a lot of people have this kind of thing where like the disc bulges out and you can see it on an MRI. I had an MRI done and they said, oh, it's a herniated disc, you know, good luck.
One thing that happens is by the time people get to my office, they've had a problem that's been in place in their body possibly for decades. Sometimes I see somebody who had a problem that happened 4 decades earlier, and their body's had a chance to become chronic with that problem over 4 decades, and it finally got to the point where it became symptomatic. So part of the problem is the body doesn't give us symptoms till the very end. Symptoms are the last part of a problem. They're the first thing to go away when we start clearing a problem. So I educate my patients as best I can to let them know that something has been in place for quite some time. It's going to take a little bit of time to resolve.
So even though I'm not in pain anymore and haven't been for a year and a half, I still see a chiropractor. I still see Dr. Dan, in fact, because I feel like it benefits me when I have a vacation or I go away for a few weeks and I don't see him. I feel I can, I think I have more immunity problems. It's like I feel more susceptible to illness. I don't feel as alive or as flexible or as healthy.
Most people see symptoms as a bad thing. They see symptoms possibly as this foreign invader that has invaded their body, and they don't like it and they want to get rid of it as soon as possible. Okay. I always try to help people reframe this, because symptoms are never ever a bad thing, because they are never a mistake of the body. It's the body's intelligence just trying to get your attention about something. Something needs to change, either an old injury that needs to finish healing that hasn't had a chance to do so yet, or a lifestyle change that needs to happen that supports your highest good. So never look at symptoms as a bad thing. It's just the intelligence of your body in some way trying to get your attention that something has to change.
Maybe turn your head to the right again. And left. Back to center.
For me, it's the difference between relief care and corrective care. I like to focus on corrective care with my clients. I will work with people on a relief basis, but my preference is to work on a corrective care basis, which means that once I find a problem, I want to work all the way through it.
When I first saw Dr. Dan, and I was in so much pain, and he literally touched me like this, and then like this, and then like this. He said, "You're done," and I was like, what? I'm in this amount of pain, and this is what you do. No way is that going to have an effect. And when it started having an impact, I was stunned. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Or maybe it makes sense, but not to me.
That's how, number one, how I might differ from other chiropractors. Other chiropractors might be geared more towards giving people some relief for the short term. Another thing that I like to focus on is looking at the lifestyle changes. And sometimes that's a little scary for people, but we do that as people are ready to take that on.
So in the past, I've been to chiropractors who crack your back. And it seems satisfying, right? Because I mean, my experience was, that feels good at the moment, It didn't help me get out of pain, but it felt good at that moment, like a release, like a laugh or a sneeze or something, right? And there's no denying that feels good in the moment, but it didn't have any long-term impact on my situation. So I stopped seeing chiropractors who cracked my back.
We end up having a lot of stress in our lives as a result of our choices on the way we eat, move, and think. So are we choosing the right foods? Are we moving properly? Are we thinking good thoughts about ourselves and others? So all these things are very important as an adjunct to chiropractic care in order to make the most out of your chiropractic care.
I realized I just felt, this is an odd word, but the word that comes up is fuller. Like more full of life. It wasn't that my pain went immediately away. I did feel a little less pain, but I had a lot of pain to start with, and it didn't go away immediately, but I felt more alive, more conscious, more flowy. I can't believe I'm using these words.
A brief definition, subluxation just means less than a dislocation. The word sub means less than. Luxation means dislocations. It could be repetitive stress with the work, and it could be sitting all day long at work as well. So that would be on the physical side. Chemical causes for subluxation, where the spine moves out of alignment, would be, number one, drugs. Drugs by definition are a chemical. Even though they're necessary for some people to take, their body's going to have to deal with an ongoing stress of that chemical and try to figure out how to interpret that each day. So drugs would be a chemical. Are we drinking clean water? Are we breathing clean air? Are we getting toxins in our food from pesticides and things like that? So those would be chemical stressors. Is a person a smoker? All chemical stressors. And then the third cause of subluxation would be mental emotional stress. Possibly the loss of a loved one, stressful job, hectic schedule with their life each day. All those can contribute to subluxations or misalignments of the spine.
It's just this very calm, caring guy who takes his time on every adjustment, and really his goal is clearly to heal. And he's a gifted healer. His hands are just, there's something about it. So I just want people to know that regardless of whether they understand how this works or not, and I have a PhD in neuroscience, I don't understand how it works, try it out because it's an amazing experience.